Bow, bow.
Hey guys, welcome to the Great Divide, episode 6. Woohoo! Kind of in a mood today, as you know, but
I think it's something
I'll
in
get
the
over it.
high altitude air.
I mean, I should be happy. The weather's been pretty great.
It really is.
But anyway, so we don't have preparation.
Nope.
So we're just gonna scroll through some articles and
Wing it.
today and just kind of go over some stuff. Last week when I left here, I was driving through Aurora and came upon the accident at Buckley and Airport, I think it is.
Yeah.
I must have come up on it fairly soon after. Yeah, no, it was Buckley.
Oh, where Buckley turns into airport. Yeah.
So anyway, there was a 7-Eleven on one corner, post office on another, and Circle K on the opposite corner of the 7-Eleven. Anyway, it just must have just happened in a few minutes, and so I pulled into the gas station and started kind of watching it. After, I don't know, I was there for maybe 20 minutes or so, and then all of a sudden it caught on fire. And, I didn't know what happened or whatever, but yeah, then it caught on fire and it was up in serious flames before I left, and it's pretty crazy, man. So apparently the guy died that was driving the Tesla going 97 miles an hour, that he was clocked maybe a quarter of a mile ahead of the accident.
And he was being followed by the police, right?
No, they didn't follow him because of the
speed
rules that you're not supposed to start in a chase.
Gotcha.
Which
they saw him.
They saw him, clocked him, decided not to follow him. Seconds later, he smashes into another car
with a family in it.
There was, I think, a total of 6 injuries in the whole accident, and then the guy that started or caused the whole accident died. There's some pretty fucked up comments on it. Let's look at it. It's on Facebook, so this is public. But it was a pretty good article explaining what happened, and crazy, man. This one dude says, this one person says, one less idiot. Sucks that he had to hurt others. I'm sure someone will still try to make it APD's fault. Another guy, nicely detailed post, Aurora Police Department. I'm glad nobody else was seriously injured. This one dude was like, people, get a grip. You get pissed off if they chase them and get pissed off if they don't. Time and time again, I see police shut down a pursuit because it's too dangerous. And the person fleeing still drives at the same speed and doesn't slow down. So blam, the person driving like an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Nevertheless, it sucks.
This one says, one less Tesla on the road.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry, not sorry. This is KDB. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, including death if you're going to be an idiot. Terrifying for the family and he involved with his stupidity. There was 18 replies to that one. I can only imagine what those replies are. It's not about the car. Really? That's what you got from this? Yep, you're right about that background on your Facebook, but it's the fact that you don't see yourself as an issue. Rethink before you comment such stupid things. Another comment from the 0.0005%er.
I think we talked about this last week. Most of the people that bought Teslas are from the left, so you're hurting your own tribe when you're fucking with Tesla people.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what kind of car it was.
It doesn't.
Any car.
The dude was going 97. Yeah.
Like that's not
Yeah.
200.
Yeah. You could be driving a Subaru
Yeah.
97 miles an hour. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's still sad. It sucks that somebody would drive so carelessly, and even if there wasn't any serious injuries outside of him,
I mean,
there could have been.
Yeah, 97 impacting with a car. There's serious injuries.
Yeah,
Even minor.
Yeah.
There's concussions. There's all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah, injuries that come out after the fact.
And he blew the red light. By the way.
Blew the red light. Yep.
What's interesting too is if you watch the video, when he's going this way and he blows the red light, at the other side of the intersection, stopped at the red light.
There's a cop car.
A cop car.
I know, turns on his lights. And like literally the cops were on scene in seconds.
Yeah. Well, because they were already there.
They were pretty much already
ran
there.
a red light and hit a car in an intersection that the cop was stopped at.
So anyway, really not news. I'm sure anybody in Colorado probably already knows that already, but
somebody comments though.
Yeah.
Well, he won't be speeding anymore. Justice was served. Thankful the innocent others weren't injured seriously. God, people are just demented.
Yeah.
It's still a person's life just because he was driving a Tesla. Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
People are so full of hate these days, man. I think even when I get upset and angry, I don't want anyone to die. I don't want anyone to be hurt or maimed or killed or anything like that.
No,
it's just like, how do we get to a place where people are excited that somebody died because he's driving a Tesla?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Even though he was doing something clearly stupid.
Yeah. Like, do we know how old the guy was?
I think he was 26 or something. Pretty young.
Young, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Guy from Centennial.
Very sad.
Yeah, it is sad. It is sad that, life can change in an instant.
Yeah.
More Colorado news. Colorado ranchers and commissioners urge halt on wolf ballot measure. Seek better management plan from state. So, gray wolves have had a reintroduction in Colorado. Pastel. I think that there was a lot of people that knew it wasn't going to go well, and then the people that didn't think that thought that it would be a great thing to reintroduce apex predator into our Colorado. They didn't realize what they were voting for. At the very minimum,
Well, they don't live in that area.
they're not a rancher, so they don't see that's going to be dangerous for
livestock,
chickens. It causes.
They got to eat something.
And they can cover a lot of area.
Yeah, have you seen the map of?
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Yeah, like all over the place. That's like camping ground. A lot of it is camping ground.
Could be camping ground. Like, no, you're not afraid of just bears. You're afraid of fucking wolves. Man.
Yeah, big ass wolves.
So yeah, it says while they might agree on the problem, a group of Western Slope County commissioners and agricultural groups is asking proponents of a ballot to repeal Proposition 114, which allowed the reintroduction of wolves in Colorado to back off.
What's interesting about that too is they amended Proposition 114, so they stopped introducing them in December of 2026.
So they're going to keep bringing them in for a year and a half.
Yeah, we don't want to do this anymore, but we're not going to stop till December 2 years from now. That's smart. Good ideas. Good
I think
ideas.
all these gun laws that we were talking about looks like are going to be passed aren't going into effect until like June of next year or two.
Oh, really? It takes
So
forever to get through.
okay, but it's like all right. So now you're creating a sense of urgency for criminals. Get your guns now. Oh my God, we're
You
in
have
such a
this
dumb law.
deadline to get your guns and just let them know.
Yeah.
We're a special state. We sure are. Good times. Good times.
All right. What else do we got here?
A new Colorado law opens driving opportunities for people in the country without proper documentation.
So we're giving driver's licenses to illegal immigrants. All right. What does this article say?
A new state law set to take effect on March 31st will make obtaining a driver's license significantly easier for people in the country without proper documentation in Colorado, reducing barriers that have long complicated transportation for people without authorization. What? Okay, you don't have the right paperwork. Why are we giving them a driver's license?
This is the same as like no IDs for voting.
Yeah.
This is the dumbest shit. How have we gotten to this place in our world where, I mean, I've said this before, I'll say it again right now. If I lived in a third world country, I would want to come here too.
Yeah.
But you have to be prepared for the consequences if our leaders change every 4 years.
Yeah.
Or at very maximum every 8 years. And in the middle of that we have midterms and we get different leaders there too. So really every 2 years we have leadership changes. Like you're taking that risk that like this may not last.
Okay. So here we go. Maria Valdez, a senior driving instructor at the American Driving Academy, highlighted the law's transformative potential. For some reason, it wasn't impossible, but it was very difficult. And now, for nearly everyone, it's going to be so much easier, she said. For Alma Beza, a person without proper documentation who has lived in Colorado for 3 years, the new law means freedom from expensive transportation constraints. Sooner or later, even if it's a friend or a relative, they're going to charge you, Beza explained in Spanish. So that's going to go away for me. I will have more money for me instead of giving it to someone. I'll put gas in my car. What's the expensive transportation constraint? Taking the bus?
Getting tickets for no driver's license? I don't.
Who is she giving the money away to? Instead of giving it to someone, I'll put gas in my car?
Just paying for rides to Uber, maybe?
Maybe.
Man.
It just means safer roads because they are evaluated by a driving instructor and seen as safe to drive on the road, she said. Beza expressed excitement about her newfound potential for independence. I'm very excited because I'll finally do it myself to the place where I want to go, she said. I didn't always have that opportunity, and now I will.
You know how much insurance costs? You know how much a car payment costs and gas and everything else? Dude. I tried to have empathy for people because, again, we hit the lottery being born in the United States. We really did.
100%.
Everyone would probably agree with that, unless you hate our country and you want it to burn to the ground, like some people clearly do. We're lucky.
We are.
To be who we are, born where we were, all that
We're either
stuff.
very lucky or we're very unlucky. It all depends on how you look at it. We've talked about this before.
Yeah, we're paying for our own demise.
We definitely are.
It's like, dude, okay. You have to if we allowed everyone that wanted to be in America come to America without having a secure border, it would overtake us. We wouldn't be able to sustain helping them. We'd already don't sustain helping ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
There's already homeless people all over.
Everywhere.
Was it veterans, healthcare, the cost of everything, food. I mean, if we can't be the most sovereign nation in the world and be able to help ourselves and help the people that are less fortunate than ourselves here, how are we going to let millions of people in to help them? Like now you're just saying, okay, shifted our priorities. We're going to help these people that don't have our same values. And we already have that problem here now. There's lots of people in Colorado that don't have the values I have and you have.
Of course.
But these are people that, come from a place where there's gorillas and not the animals, like the gangsters and the drug cartels and shit. They're literally in survival of the fittest, and they'll kill you to get what they want.
Sure.
And if you come to this country with that mentality of, I've always loved Scarface. It's a great movie. But that guy did not leave. He did not leave. I know it's a fictional thing, but it's like he didn't leave our country better than when he found it.
No.
He invited drug cartels and that, and that's the type of, not all of them, there's definitely good people that came here, I'm sure.
Sure.
But if you have just 1 out of 100 are bad
and significantly bad,
shouldn't we at least vet them first? Be like, okay, you 99 people, you're cool. We're gonna let you start working towards. And I think our immigration is dumb. I know people that have had to get citizenship here, and it's not easy, and it's very expensive.
It's
does need to be fixed.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, okay, you figured out a way to get to America, and you can pay taxes and be a contributing member to society,
which most of these people want.
I think so.
Right? The majority of them want that. They just want a better life, and they see it easier to do here.
Yeah.
Right? They don't run into the problems that they have in their own countries, and I'm all for that. Right?
Absolutely.
Because the reality is that's what we all are in the beginning.
Yeah, we're all immigrants too.
Right? So, and we've said that many times. But it's the people that shouldn't be here that we should be able to say, I don't think so. Go home. Right? That's the scary part.
But we're so entitled here. We have people stealing from Whole Foods because they don't like billionaires.
Oh yeah.
Do you still get shit from Amazon, dude?
Yeah. Right.
Have you totally cut off your purchases from Amazon? Have you stopped driving cars? Have you stopped buying shit from Walmart? Have you stopped doing everything? Or did you plant a garden in your yard? Come on, dude. We all contribute to this shit. And yeah, do I like that Bezos flew a giant dick up into the atmosphere or whatever on the backs of his customers and employees? Not really, but when you go get a job, you agree to their terms.
Yeah.
When I go on Amazon and buy shit, I agree to pay for that. And okay, so the guy's a billionaire. Who fucking cares?
Right. Go steal shit from Whole Foods. Are you kidding me? Go paint swastikas on Teslas. Are you kidding me?
It's so dumb.
It is.
Like, how is that making your life better?
How is that devaluing their life? Like, you should steal shit from Whole Foods. Do you know what they do when stuff is stolen?
Yeah, they raise the prices.
And they write it off.
Yeah.
It's loss.
Yeah.
Right? That shit. I worked for Walmart. I was a manager at Walmart. I managed the liquor department. You know how many people stole liquor?
Oh,
Like,
sure. Every day.
it was just write off, loss. Like, are you kidding? You're not
Yeah.
doing anything.
Yeah.
You're not.
You're making their tax returns better.
Like, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you're doing it in a dumb way. Right? If anything, and I'm not one for protesting. I don't feel that protesting does anything.
Yeah.
It's a waste of your life.
It's like going to the strip club.
Right. Waste of your life.
It's just waste of everything.
Yeah, right. But if anything, if you're going to do something, convince other people not to buy from Whole Foods. That would be the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And I don't think protesting is going to get you there.
Yeah, no, you're a criminal on top of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so if they catch you, which a lot of people have been caught for vandalizing Teslas.
Yeah. And they're facing 20 years.
Yeah, because they're being
Idiots.
marked as domestic terrorists.
Yeah, idiots.
And then Elon Musk says, I don't know if this is true or not, but he's like, we're going to go after the people that are funding this stuff. And it's like, okay, let's just take it to a micro level, okay? If my neighbor has a Tesla, say I hate Musk, which I don't, but say I did, okay? First of all, I have to see that dude every day, or at least multiple times a year, a week, right? I'm gonna run into him.
Right, your neighbor.
Am I gonna go fuck with his car?
Yeah, that's stupid.
Say you take that all out of it, right? All right. Say I have a neighbor that's an asshole. He's always having parties. He's, or she, whatever. He's always being noisy. He doesn't mow his lawn. They're just asshole people. They don't care about anyone but themselves. They're making the property values in the neighborhood go down. I might be like, dude, maybe mow your lawn. I might even say some things like that, but I'm not going to go
vandalize his car.
Freaking burn his house down.
This goes back to the story of the lady at the farmer's market.
Yeah, it's like, what? You're literally making an ass out of yourself.
Yeah, you're not accomplishing anything, and it goes back to the fact that these people feel like they've been wronged, or they can't do anything about it, and they're just having an emotional reaction from it, and that's the best thing their emotional reaction side could come up with, and it's sad. It's very sad because they don't think it through intelligently. There's so much. If you didn't like Musk and what Musk is doing and Doge is doing, there are other ways to go about trying to stop that. But going and burning Teslas is not going to stop that. If anything, it's going to fuel the fire.
Hey, man, we had to wait 4 years.
Right.
Well, Joe Biden was in office. Not sure what he was doing.
Nothing.
We had people lying to us that he was the wittiest, smartest guy he's ever been. We had vaccinations.
Like we couldn't see it with our own eyes, like video.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it was clearly obvious that he was not. He did not have his full mental faculties.
Physical.
We had them forcing vaccinations on us. We have, our kids are, I would say maybe a third of our kids are trans or gay out of nowhere, like this, not a grassroots movement.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely pushed on society. We have all these crazy things happening. We didn't protest.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't, I might have been like, you're retarded. You're done.
Yeah.
But I was never gonna like take physical action towards another person.
No.
Like, hey, dude, I think that you're misinformed. I think that you're definitely listening to some information.
Yeah.
But I've never one time said anything bad to another person about it. All I've ever said is, hey, I don't think this is right. It doesn't feel right to me, man.
Yeah.
I don't think this is normal. I feel like you guys are drinking the Kool-Aid, drinking the wrong Kool-Aid.
100%.
I'm not going to go hurt somebody else or hurt their property.
No.
That's the difference.
It
That's the
doesn't
difference.
accomplish anything.
It doesn't accomplish anything.
Right?
And the whole thing behind the Musk shit is it's the most ridiculous thing because like you have Bernie Sanders and AOC, which we'll get a little bit deeper into that here in a minute. But they came to Greeley, Colorado, and did a whole thing, right? And they're fighting oligarchy.
Mm-hmm.
What about the oligarchy that was in charge 2 months ago, 3 months ago?
To them, that's not labeled as oligarchy because it's on their side. It's only
So you have George Soros, Bill Gates, Fauci, the Biden, the Clinton foundations, the fucking all umpteenth fucking celebrities that endorsed Kamala, Biden first, then Kamala. Like, but Kamala had no ratings, like good, like she was the worst vice president ever. Then all of a sudden she was like the best thing ever. And it's like, what kind of fucking mind virus how many times do you have to lie to people before you start saying, man, we need to change course?
Fake it till you make it.
It's ridiculous. So anyway, back to what I was saying, we're gonna get more into that. I heard something that 84% of the people that were at Bernie Sanders and AOC's rally had been to multiple other rallies, including BLM, Antifa, Kamala Harris, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on, through cell phone data. And so, I mean, it makes you feel like, okay,
they're just
at the very minimum, these are people that are like groupies, right?
But I think they're getting paid to be there.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Musk said too. He's like, we're going to get to the bottom of this and who's funding all these protests and riots. Like, and this has been happening for, I don't know, the last 5-6 years. Oh my God, dude, it's just so dumb.
Let's say that they aren't getting paid. That in those 84%, they're just traveling around because they want to and going to all these things. That would be so bizarre. Where's the rest of your life?
How can they afford that? I mean, I guess it's not my business, nor do I really care, but
right,
like, that's your whole life?
Yeah.
Is to go protest oligarchy?
And go to these rallies?
Go to rallies?
Like, I don't know.
And draw swastikas on Teslas, and we're in just such a messed up place. This is the people that
I feel like we're in the best and worst time at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm feeling a lot more of the worst time than I am in the best time. Like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff on the horizon. AI could be great, could be terrible. We could have social credit scores like China. We could be forced to have facial recognition before we pass checkpoints. We could have electric cars just turned off, and that doesn't even have to be an electric car. It could just be a new car. It could be a gas car.
Yeah, with the CPU.
And they could just turn it off.
Yep, GPS.
My car transmits information. I bet you they could turn it off if they really wanted to.
I mean, shit, even old school cars used to have OnStar.
Yeah.
Right? That's where it started. OnStar.
Yeah. Like, you get into an accident and they're like, is everyone okay?
They knew.
And if you're not, they'll send to the ambulance.
Yeah. They knew it happened. They know what's going on.
Yeah.
My truck does not have any of that shit. I'll stick with the old stuff.
Yeah, you're probably better off. I don't know, man. It just seems like the more we get into our older age, sometimes I wonder if I'm just like the old man saying, "Get off my lawn." But like, I don't feel like that. I feel like there's really just crazy people. I was at a meeting the other day, and there was this lady saying there was two left-leaning people there, and they were like, "Oh, it's abhorrent what's happening. They're getting rid of the Department of Education." Okay, what has the Department of Education done for us?
Mm-hmm.
Literally, we have gotten dumber. We have spent more, and they don't even teach people. They just push initiatives, and they process loan applications for people to go into debt for college that they're not learning anything.
No.
So get rid of it. We don't need it. Are we trying to be better as a species, or are we trying to? And so anyway, yeah, these people were like, "Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it?" And one of them was like, "I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight for this. We got to fight right now." You're going to fight to get rid of somebody that's uncovering corruption and wasteful spending when all the other presidents that you probably voted for have said the same thing. They just never took action to actually do it.
Yeah. It's sad because that's how politicians are. That's how politics are.
They lie to get your vote.
Yeah.
And then they never do it. And then now that we have somebody that's actually doing something, they hate them for it.
Yeah.
Because people are losing their jobs. Yeah, I feel bad for those people. Like, I got a good government job. I got, 27 days off a year plus my 3 weeks vacation. We get to work from home. I'm sorry, you had it so good, man.
No, I think it's the people that were abusing the system don't get to abuse the system
anymore. Yeah, but I still feel bad. Even with all that, with that, I still feel bad for those people. Okay? Yeah, that sucks. You lost your job. What are you going to do next? How are you going to find a job so cushy again?
Yeah.
That really sucks for you.
I mean,
but at our expense.
Yeah. When they send out an email just to see who responds and people don't even respond, and then they're losing their job and, oh, darn, you're not going to get paid for doing nothing anymore, I don't feel bad for them.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for them at all.
I don't know.
Be a productive member of society.
Yeah. But, I mean, if the job was there, it's just like, it's the same idea of, if you're from a third world country, you're going to come here because the border's open anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well come here.
Right.
Figure out the consequences later.
Right.
It's the same thing. Like, oh, I got this job and I hardly have to do anything and I can spend money on finding out if birds are more promiscuous on cocaine. This is so easy. This is the easiest job I've ever had. I am going to cash this check laughing every week.
Every week.
Or a month. I guess federal employees probably get paid by the month.
Yeah, I don't know.
But like, okay. Like, I'll take that. But when that gravy train comes to an end, you can't be mad. You got to be happy that you got that gravy train.
Yeah, that you were on it.
Now you got to go to get a real job.
Buddy. Yeah, right. I agree. And I think there's some truth to, they're doing this very fast, right?
Yeah.
And there's going to be mistakes made.
Absolutely.
Right? There's going to be stuff that gets cut because they're doing it so fast. They probably shouldn't be cut, right? But after we cut it, we can reevaluate and say, oh, we probably do need that and bring it back.
Yeah.
Right? But I think when you're like, I don't even know what the numbers are. I don't even want to speculate, but I'm sure it's a high percentage that never should have been there. We should have never spent the money on that. And to have a huge sweep of cuts is necessary to find out what is actually necessary.
Well, and think about this: like every president brings in a new administration,
Right.
right? So, at the very minimum, each president is gonna fire the old people and bring on new people. Yeah, some people might like slip through the cracks and be like, okay, you still got a job. It's just doing something different now or whatever. But every president that goes through that.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
You're gonna need to find a new job.
Yeah.
In 3.5 years, probably.
Right. You're going to, most likely.
Yeah.
Or you're going to be one of the guys that squeezes through. You know what I thought was interesting? Did you know Kash Patel doesn't trust the FBI and he has his own private security?
Yeah, I did know.
That's crazy.
What? Well, he should, because you got the corruption is so deep
in the FBI.
Yeah,
right.
Take him out.
Like, that hurts my head,
dude. They killed the fucking president.
Oh, they 100% did.
They killed JFK. So if you could do that, you could get to the FBI.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
If you can try to kill Trump twice, thankfully that didn't happen, but they tried.
Yeah. And
they could get my own security too.
They're not going to try again.
No, that's not to say that.
Right.
We don't know. And honestly, I'm going to say this probably every episode. I don't think Trump and Musk are our fucking saviors.
No, I don't either.
I don't agree with everything.
But at least they're doing something.
They're doing something.
We're moving in the right direction.
They're making big changes, which is what we need.
Right.
And are they going to do some, maybe in retrospect, some bad things? Sure.
Some damage.
That's going to.
But an overwhelming good. That's what I think is good.
Net will be, the scales will be tipped to better.
When you go based on the numbers, right, what they're trying to do is fix the deficit, right?
36 trillion and counting.
Insanity that we've even, like, that right there tells me that everybody up until this point has not been doing the job.
When I was a kid, you would say, and I mean, my spectrum of knowledge was smaller then, of course, but like, if you said, you remember, what was that movie where he's like, we're gonna get $1 million, and they're like, no, that's not that much. Austin Powers. You're like, $1 million isn't that much.
Yeah.
$1 billion. And now it's like, that's not even that much.
Yeah.
We've had $1 billion fucking Powerball.
I don't think a lot of people understand the difference between $1 million and $1 billion.
Well, no, because most people haven't had that much.
Right. I heard an example. Let me see if I can.
Well, $1 billion is 1,000 million.
Yeah, but let me see if I can pull up the example that I heard.
But what I was getting at was, okay, like, it's unfathomable to even like wrap your head around $1 trillion. And I mean, they're uncovering, Musk and Doge is uncovering billions upon billions upon billions upon billions of dollars that are just wasted on shit that we don't need, that doesn't make us a better society. And let's talk about things like, the Department of Education. It's not making us better. So why would we have it? Why would we have anything that doesn't make us better?
Right.
Why are we paying for something that doesn't make us better? In fact, it makes us worse. It's it's like, okay, sure, we should help other people around the world. If we can't let them all to us, let's send stuff and help them out, Let's try to stop wars. giving to,
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
it doesn't make any sense at all. What are you calculating here?
Okay, so this is what blew my. This is what made me realize how much the difference is between 1 million and 1 billion. Right?
Okay.
If you break it into seconds, 1 million seconds is 11 days. 1 billion seconds is 31.7 years.
Holy shit!
That's the difference between a million and a billion. 11 days is a million seconds. 1 billion seconds is 31.7 years. That's a huge fucking difference.
That's almost over 31 years.
Yeah, right? You're talking 11 days compared to 31 years. That's the difference between a million and a billion. Like, most people don't fathom that.
And that's dollars.
Right.
Not cents.
$1 million compared to $1 billion. Like, holy crap.
That's huge.
Right? But when you break it down into seconds and put it into days and years, that's how you can really see the big difference.
How much is a trillion seconds?
Let's see. $31,709 years.
Jeez. Oh, wow. So you go from 31,000 or 31 years to 31,000 years.
Right. So that's the amount of seconds divided by 365 days, right? 31,709 years is a trillion seconds.
That's amazing.
Like, fuck.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. That's pretty fucking wild. That's pretty fucking wild.
That's so
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't
to put
realize
it into
that.
context like that. That's crazy.
I didn't realize it until I heard that example.
Wow.
1 million seconds is 11 days. 1 billion seconds is 31 years.
Trillion seconds is
31,709
years.
That's crazy.
Oh my wow.
Yeah, we're fucking wasting money. A lot of it. A fucking lot of it. That's some shit. All right.
All right, so there's some news about RFK. Don't really know a lot about it, so I'm not going to get into too much about that. But he has said that beef tallow is healthier than seed oils. Is he right? Article says the battle over health, and this is on CNN Health. The battle over health merits of various cooking fats has never really gotten below a simmer, but it's starting to heat up again. Beef tallow and other animal fats, including pig lard and butter, were traditionally used as the main cooking fats in the United States up until the early 20th century. A shift occurred in the early to mid 20th century when scientists started looking into the consumption of animal fat as the culprit behind the uptick of cardiovascular issues, which I think we've determined that a lot of that has to do with sugar. But anyway, vegetable and seed oils that had largely been used for industrial purposes, such as soaps, machinery, fuel, and candles, started to be widely promoted as heart-healthy alternatives to animal fats. Like, I can't believe it's not butter. I can believe that shit.
Yeah.
And indeed, research has shown that plant-based oils such as olive and canola oil may be better for certain health outcomes than animal-based fats like butter. Now, U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr. says he's on a crusade to make America healthy, and seed oils are among his targets. Kennedy's campaign website still sells hats embroidered with the phrase like make frying oil tallow again. I don't know, that doesn't make sense. Anyway, seed oil is one of the components of processed foods, and all the science indicates that ultra-processed foods are the principal culprit in this extraordinary explosion, the epidemic we have of chronic disease, Kennedy said in a recent interview with Fox News host Sean Hannity at a Steak and Shake in Florida. Well, I don't think that this article is really going to go, but let me just scan through it real quick. Blah, blah, blah. Steak and Shake is frying their stuff in tallow, blah, blah, blah. So it's basically saying they're both bad for you. So it says, while seed oil is found in ultra-processed foods, and there are studies linking ultra-processed foods to many health conditions, there are also studies linking the consumption of animal fats to adverse health outcomes. Decades of research have produced a wealth of data showing that diets higher in plant fats result in better health outcomes than diets higher in animal fats, said Dr. Alice H. Lichtenstein, the Stanley N. Gershoff Professor of Nutrition Science and Policy at Tufts University in Boston. I think it will be detrimental to increase our intake of animal fat and decrease our intake of plant oils. Wonder who's paying her? Anyway, I knew I wasn't going to get a good answer out of this, but I don't know, man. I feel like there's been studies that have lied to us, like the sugar industry has lied to us, and really what all of the conversations that we have on this podcast have and will probably always come out to is that if they're pushing it on us, it probably is like lining someone's pocket.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right.
That's
if they want us to take it, somebody's getting rich.
Yeah.
Somebody or some corporation or some industry is getting rich.
Right.
And so you might want to just do your own research and see if it's right for you and your family.
Just like the vaccine was pushed on us.
Yeah.
And
you have to get it.
Yeah.
We'll give you a cheeseburger from McDonald's if you get it.
Not only did it not do anything good for us, it didn't stop the spread of the virus.
No.
But people got fucking filthy rich.
People got rich.
Right?
Look at Bill Gates by himself. He invested, what, $50 million? Cashed out at $500 million?
Yeah.
$500 million. That's a lot of seconds.
Moderna, Pfizer.
31 years. That's
that's a lot of seconds.
Okay, $500 million is about over 15 and a half years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude, if they're pushing it on us, if they're pushing an agenda or a cause or something on humanity, somebody's getting rich off of it.
And they definitely do a good job of wrapping it in beautiful wrapping paper to make it look like it's
it's love.
Yeah.
It's safety.
Yeah.
It's inclusion.
How is it that now the CDC requires or recommends 3 COVID vaccines by the time you're 6 months old?
Yeah, that's nutty.
What the fuck?
I saw that Rogan episode. And the hepatitis one. Or what was that sexually transmitted disease that a kid should get?
I don't remember what that one was. The COVID one stood out to me now.
It's crazy, dude. Okay.
They're up to like 70 something vaccines on the child schedule.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And you have Bill Gates like, just put it into their system.
Yeah, just jab it in there. Oh my god.
Like you, dude, what?
What? Like,
all right, well, I guess your 500 million allows you to go around the world telling us what we should do. I think that Yeah, free speech, man. You should be able to do that. But think for yourself. Do your own research.
For sure.
I don't want to. I don't want to eat your lab meat. I don't want to get your vaccine. I don't want to.
Not
Like,
eating
none of that.
crickets.
I'm not it. Yeah.
No,
we may have to one day, but like,
No,
I'm not going to advocate for it.
I'm not gonna eat crickets.
I don't want to eat crickets.
I'll go the vegetable route before I go cricket route. I'll just eat all lettuce or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm not eating bugs.
All right. Well, seed oils, I think, are clearly bad, and I've tried to eliminate them from my diet. So you can do what you want, but
Yeah.
to me, that's kind of a no-brainer. But anyway,
In local news,
what you got?
what could Trump's election order mean for Colorado voters?
Oh, geez.
All right,
What do
here
we got
go.
here?
Coloradans would have to prove their American citizenship in order to register to vote under a new executive order from President Donald Trump. That's a reversal from the current approach here in Colorado, because that doesn't make sense. Okay.
Anybody votes. You get a vote. You get a vote. Everybody gets a vote.
The current approach is the state is responsible for verifying citizenship via a number of government databases, including driver's licenses and social security numbers.
Wait, hold on a second. They're just trying to give people that don't have documentation driver's licenses.
Yeah. Oh, shocking.
We just talked about that.
Hey. It's one of numerous changes the order demands of states with implications Colorado's election officials are still struggling to understand. And this is from Jenna Griswold. Honestly, we don't know the exact effect at this point, but this puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the state because it could affect funding. So it's all about money, right?
Like the gun laws that are...
Yeah. It could affect all of the different aspects of voting, is what she says. And honestly, it is so ambiguous and vague that we really do need answers soon. Okay, so essentially, she's saying that the state needs to verify it, not the people. So the people don't need to prove that they're an American citizen. The state needs to prove they're an American citizen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anybody can just show up, and then the state says, oh, yeah, we proved it. Give us money, right? Instead of the person showing up and being like, yeah, I'm an American citizen. Now you get your money, right? So it's a great way for the state to backdoor and say, oh, yeah, we've had all these people. They're American citizens. And let's have the money now, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know why an American citizen wouldn't, like, why wouldn't we be proving that we're an American citizen to go vote? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And wouldn't that be costing the state more money to have to go through that, proving that they're American citizens by going through the government databases, including driver's licenses, social security numbers? Isn't that just more work for the state?
I think you get more money from each person on a census. So then if you're an American citizen, you would get a census form.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you have, like...
But what if you get on the census form and you don't vote?
So convoluted.
I think it's the state just being able to make up numbers.
Yeah.
And then ask for funding. Because it's about money. Because that's her first sentence.
Yeah, it's all about funding.
This puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the state because it could affect funding. Well, that's
BPR.org.
And yeah, that's good stuff. States fail. So in President Trump's orders, he asserts that states fail adequately to vet voter citizenship. In recent years, the Department of Justice has failed to prioritize and devote sufficient resources to it for enforcement of these provisions. So it's all about money. It's not about the actual vote. It's about the money.
Yeah. It's not about making us smarter or healthier.
If it goes into effect, people would have to provide documentary proof of citizenship, like a passport, military ID, or real ID compliant driver's license, which we just talked about, when they fill out the federal voter registration forms. Colorado licenses meet the real ID qualification, but their current design doesn't distinguish whether a person is a citizen or a legal permanent resident, so Griswold believes they wouldn't meet the criteria.
God,
We need to do another section called How Dumb Can Denver Be? What?
This has to be from people that aren't from here. This has to be. This is not the same Colorado as it was when I was a kid.
That's awesome.
All right. We have some more topics, so I'm gonna move to the next one. So dumb.
We got time. We got another 26 minutes.
Several northern Colorado track coaches terminated after violating school district policies. Letter to parents and students says. It's a pretty quick article, but it basically says the district did not tell parents, students, or CBS News Colorado what specific policies were violated. The district also did not publicly release the names of the coaches who were terminated. So why the fuck is this even an article?
Well, because wonder what they did.
They're pushing DEI? I don't know.
Who knows?
Sex?
Well, we know it's not sex because we know there's schools here that the principal says it's okay.
Oh yeah, Columbine.
To date the student, and then the teacher and the student moved to a different state to get away from the mom. So we know it's not sex, right? Because we encourage that shit here, I guess.
Several coaches at Rocky Mountain High School in Fort Collins have been removed from the track and field program, effective immediately. According to a notice given to parents and students and obtained by CBS News Colorado, multiple coaches were removed from their roles for violating Poudre School District policies. And that's all we got on that. We don't know why, we don't know who, we just know that it happened.
Yep.
So,
but they won't release details.
And they won't tell us what it was.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's dumb.
Another Colorado news.
No.
Speaking of schools, another Colorado news. My son's elementary school made the news.
Oh yeah, you told me about
that. So I don't know how this just happened to coincide, but on Friday I kept my 5-year-old son home from elementary school because he wasn't feeling well. Well, around 10 o'clock in the morning, I get an email from the Cherry Creek School District saying that the school is on lockdown because a student brought a gun to school in elementary school. That's hot. So
take all the guns away.
Yeah. Then I take my son to school this morning, and we now have security out in front of the school. And then also there's mental health counselors for elementary school kids, so they can go talk to somebody about it.
I bet you if you didn't remind those kids about it, they would have forgot over the weekend.
Yeah, would already forgot. I mean, depending on what grade they are in, maybe, I don't know. The reality is we don't know any details. It's my son's school. We don't know who brought the gun. We don't know any of the details other than there was a gun found in a backpack. That's all we know. Still don't know anything about it. Right? So that's good. And then now we have security at the school, and they'll be staying through the end of the week in case there's another incident. What?
I think that's a really good way to scare people into giving up their guns.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Man. All right. Tesla takedown protesters are planning a global day of action on March 29th, and things might get ugly. So that happened over the weekend. I don't know. I didn't hear any news on that, but again, man, get a hobby. Find something better to do with your life. If you just want to walk around with hate, maybe go to a rage room or something and break some shit.
Take up a jiu-jitsu or something, boxing.
Yeah.
Go beat a bag. That'd be better.
I mean, it's a free country. Do what you want. But to me, it's like,
Except for if what you want to do is burn Tesla dealerships. That's not allowed. Let's not do shit like that.
yeah, so dumb.
New audit finds Colorado Department of Labor overcollected millions of dollars from employers.
Oh, yeah, saw that.
Colorado employers paid $5 million more than they owed in unemployment insurance last year, according to a newly released audit. The Office of the State Auditors say a program error in the Department of Labor and Employment's My UI Plus system, the system for employment benefits in the state, led to some employers overpaying and others underpaying. Up to 30,000 employers were impacted. The audit also found that 4,100 employers who should have been paying into the Family and Medical Leave Insurance, or FAMLI program, have not made payments, while others who were exempt from the program paid 127 million. That's a lot of seconds. The Department of Labor refunded the money, but the audit found it failed to account for the refunds on its books. Fundamentally, what we have here between these two programs is a system that breeds a lack of trust. So that's good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, Denver Mayor Mike Johnston's sanctuary city hearing in front of Congress cost the taxpayers $11,318. All right. Airfare for the 5 travelers, because he needed to bring people with him, accounted for $2,717. Meals came in at $1,380, while a majority of the trip's overall cost, $7,221, went to hotel expenses. Owing to the State of the Union taking place the night before the hearing, rooms were in short supply and exorbitantly expensive, said Johnston spokesperson John Ewing to the Denver Gazette. We booked the best and most affordable option we could find within a reasonable distance of the hearing. Additionally, one staff member chose to stay with friends to save on costs. Dude, I took my family to Florida and we went to all 4 parks in Disney World and Universal Studios one day. 4 of us, and okay, there was a lunch where I think our burgers were like $25 a piece.
Yeah.
It was like some crazy amount. It was over $100 for lunch to get burgers and fries and Cokes.
Okay.
And we spent somewhere between $7,000 and $8,000 for 5 days. You're telling me that there's not
How much was theirs total?
11,000?
Yeah. Theirs is basically. I mean, to be honest, I'm surprised it wasn't 11 million.
No.
I mean, the way we're going right now, a weekend in DC is 11 million. Like, holy shit.
Ewing, whoever this is, added that the mayor opted not to bring a security detail, so saved us tons of money. The tally doesn't include the cost of the law firm hired to help Johnston and the city prepare for the hearing. In February, Denver inked an agreement with the law firm of Covington and Burlington, LLP, to represent the city in the upcoming congressional inquiry. Under the 1-year contract with a maximum cap of $2 million, the city will pay lawyers a discounted rate of $1,000 per hour.
Oh, that's discounted.
We have not yet received invoices related to legal costs.
That's coming.
Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, who joined Johnston, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnston, and New York Mayor Eric Adams, has been sharply criticized criticized for her whopping $650,000 legal bill. We defended the costs, saying it was necessary amid threats to put her in jail, as reported by the Boston Herald.
Well, in comparison, if she spent 650,000 and Johnson only spent 11,000, he did a good job.
No, he spent 11,000 just on airfare, food, and a hotel
Yeah.
for him and his entourage.
So airfare.
This doesn't include the because they haven't gotten the invoices yet for the legal
right.
work that helped him prepare to go in front of Congress.
Right. But let's break it down.
But I don't know. Hold on. Before we break it down, why do you need a law firm to prepare you to go to Congress and tell the truth about what's going on in your city?
Especially if it's going to cost $1 million.
Especially if it costs 5 cents.
Thousands of dollars.
You don't need to you shouldn't need anyone to prepare you to go tell the truth in front of Congress.
Yeah, you definitely shouldn't. Here's what you can and cannot say. Yeah, no, that's not cool.
You should go and tell the truth. Hey, this is the situation. Bro,
we're not ready for the truth. Okay, the truth is this is all bullshit. It's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
But let's break down the cost. So it said $2,000 for airfare. You got 5 people, $2,000 for airfare. That's $400 a plane ticket.
No, that's not bad.
That's about average, right? It's the $7,000 in food and hotel. How long did they stay?
2,700.
2,700 for the airfare
for 5 travelers. So just over $500 a piece.
Okay, that's about it.
Okay. Meals came to $1,380. So
it's $250 a piece.
Okay, that's probably normal too.
Yeah.
No, the hotel is the weird one.
Yeah.
$7,221.
I don't know what hotels go for in DC.
I don't either, but
they must be fucking expensive.
Well, because they want something close to wherever Congress is.
Going, yeah, right.
No, I've never been to DC.
Yeah, I haven't either. So it's over, and there's 5 people. It's 7,000. They're what, $1,250 then? I mean, it depends on how long they stayed. If it was one night, that's $1,250 a night. Fuck that. Get an Airbnb. Everybody stays together.
No doubt.
Yeah. But I'm actually shocked that it was only 11,000. Like that seems like
no, yeah, that's before the law firm.
Right. The law
firm.
So
and that was at a discounted rate of $1,000 per hour.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Oh,
I'm not sure why 11,000 made the news. I think the $1,000 an hour should have been the headline of that news article.
Yeah, like an estimated total of what that is.
How many hours are we going on? Right? If we're at 30 hours.
How many hours? Yeah, how many hours have you worked on this for?
Yeah. You're 50 hours, 40 hours. Let's say they worked a week on it, or 2 lawyers worked 20 hours a piece. That's at $40,000 just for the law firm. That's way more than the travel and expenses and all that bullshit, which we don't need a law firm for that. That's ridiculous.
Again,
yeah,
you shouldn't need any preparation to go tell the truth in front of Congress.
No, you really shouldn't. Really shouldn't.
So it all comes back to money. Money. Somebody's getting paid, son.
Hey. Who owns that law firm? That's what I want to know.
Well, I think I said it already, but
yeah, you said 2 names, but who actually owns the law firm? We'd have to deep dive into that. Is Pfizer on the law firm?
Oh, I don't know. Right. The law firm of Covington and Burling, LLP. Covington and Burling, BURLING, LLP. It's owned by its partners.
Formed under the laws of the District of Columbia.
One of the laws of
Firm
DC.
by Judge J. Harry Covington and Edward B. Burlington in 1919. It's a 100-year-old law firm. It's
So they
offices-
actually went to the. They
offices
actually went
around the
to
world.
DC
Yeah.
and then got prepped.
The firm has a long history, including mergers and strategic alliances, such as the 1999 merger with Howard, Smith, and Levin, and the 2008 strategic alliance with the Institution of Quraysh for Law and Policy. Interesting. It's an American multinational law firm known as the White Shoe Law Firm. It is headquartered in Washington, D.C. So that money doesn't even stay in Colorado. That's good. We paid $1,000 an hour to a different state. We can't even use the law firm here in Colorado. Headquartered in Washington, D.C.
I don't know, man. I've never been in front of Congress. I hope I never have to be, but
I don't think you need a law firm for that.
I just feel like if somebody said, "Hey, Bryson, you need to testify in front of Congress," isn't that like testifying? You have to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I
So
don't
help me God.
even think this was a request by Congress.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, this was a request by
Yeah,
Congress?
but he could have said no.
Oh, I thought he was going to like state his case and be like,
No, they asked him to come, and he went
oh, okay.
because they want to know what the hell is
Going on here?
sanctuary city. What are you doing?
Oh,
What
yes.
does that mean?
Oh, yes, I remember this.
Yeah.
And he said we don't actually call it a sanctuary city.
Yeah, we call it.
It's social programs to help
I can't remember.
non-American citizens. More favorable to non-American citizens.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
think that's right.
All right, man. Well, I know we did a lot of babbling and a lot of
Good times.
stuff. We're gonna have those episodes where we just talk.
Yeah.
So that's all I got.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, tuning in. Don't forget to share, subscribe, share, like, comment if you want.
Hit that notification bell.
Hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode.
And if you have comments or topics that you want us to cover, put them in the comments,
Yeah.
and we will definitely get into them.
One thing I'm personally interested in, I just watched the Tesla Files over the weekend on Amazon. So I think I'm going to do a little bit more research. The Tesla Files on Amazon is actually a really good program. I would suggest to watch it because Tesla was a brilliant mind that was trying to provide free energy to the world. And
We're talking about Nikola Tesla.
yeah, not Tesla the cars.
It's on Netflix.
Nikola on Netflix. No, it's on Amazon.
Amazon Prime.
But it goes to show you that if you watch it, we'll talk about it more on another episode. But if you watch it yourself, you'll see that there's definitely some discrepancies for the things that he came up with that he wanted the world to have for free. And it goes back to the money thing. Like
Always.
somebody took it and they profited it off of it. JP Morgan was part of that. Edison was part of that. Definitely some factions of the government in the United States and maybe other countries were
Wasn't Trump's
involved in
uncle
that.
part of that?
Trump's uncle, John D. Trump,
Yeah.
definitely was part of that.
Mhm.
I don't know how much of that information trickled down to Trump. Obviously, I'm not in his world, so I don't know anything about that, what he knows from his uncle or whatever. But there's definitely some shit. And just to reiterate what I said earlier, I'm not like a Trump is saving our world type of person.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that he's got some issues that he's screwed over contractors. He's done all kinds of things. I don't know what of that is true either, but I'm not saying that I'm going to buy into everything that everybody says positive about him and not say, hey, there's this thing that, John D. Trump was definitely played a role in Tesla not, there was smear campaigns on him and all kinds of shit. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that more. I thought that was a really interesting topic. I've always been interested in Nikola Tesla. So, but yeah, if you have something that interests you, whether it be crypto or some certain politician or whatever, let us know. We'll check into it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're going to have all the answers, but we'll talk about it.
We'll definitely chat about it.
Oh, yeah. All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks,
See you next
everyone.
time.
See you next time.